Hey guys, Novaexplosion and welcome back to more Trails of Cold Steel 2. It's been a minute since I played this, I think about a week? I haven't played this game in like a week or something like that. But I've been swamped and I've been addicted to Tales of Arise. We got the main story of Arise done now, so we're probably almost done with Arise. Which means more Cold Steel 2 until it's done. YouTube though, the backlog. I'm so behind on YouTube. I think as of today, this is like part 106, 105? But part 92 just reached YouTube, so we're a little part 91 and 92 are gonna go on YouTube today. So we're a little behind on YouTube uploads, but that's fine. But in reality, it's been a while. But I've been uploading a lot of Arise because I have a big backlog for that game. But anyway, we're in the bonding session, so we're gonna just start bonding with characters. I definitely want to bond with Toa. Who's in here? Laura? All right, yeah. I mean. What else could I bond with? I'm trying to mix it up a bit. Let's bond with... Let's bond with, what's-her-face? Alphen. Where's she at? Probably up the elevator or something. Definitely would like to bond with Alphen. We haven't bonded with her. Yeah, no, this is Elisa. We might bond with Elisa, but I kind of want to do, like, different people we haven't bonded with. Yeah, let's do Alphen. I hear you've been working hard on all the requests my brother sent you. In fact, he was simply gushing about you. Really? Really, word of your exploits has been reaching the ears of Western Arabonia, you know. And everything they've heard has been filling them with just as much hope as it has the people here. He asked me to pass along a message for you as well. Won't always be easy, but I hope you'll keep fighting the good fight. I had no idea what we were doing was having an effect on so many people. And we really will keep fighting. If what we're doing brings hope to the very ones we're fighting for, nothing is too difficult. Such a fine spirit is worthy of a fine reward, in my opinion. Allow me to present you with this. Ooh, Medal of Charity. I can't believe my eyes. It's a medal belonging to the Order of the Phoenix Wings, the Medal of Charity. It's a proof that its bearing has spared no effort in working to help the people of Arabonia. Your classmates played no small part in achieving all you have, of course, but I'm sure it was only possible because of you. I'm honored, Your Highness, and if you think I'm worthy, I'll gladly accept. Wonderful, and to echo my brother's words, keep fighting the good fight. In turn, I'll do all I can to aid you. Oh, you don't even give me... Oh, you do have a bond event. Last night, I received an invitation to stay here. There's still some time until we have to leave, so I think I'll spend some quality time curled up with these books. Sharon's coffee can't be beaten either. In fact, pulling myself away from here may prove to be a real struggle. Okay, I wasn't sure if there was a bonding event, but yeah, we'll use one on Alphen. Mind if I stick around a little longer? Not at all. We don't get many chances to spend time together like this, so let's make the most of it. I think I want to, like, bond with Gaius at every single time, just to get someone to a max bond. Green could never say no to some of Sharon's coffee, and in fact asked her to make another pot for them. With that, he and Princess Alphen spent some time perusing the countless books gathered in the library. This coffee really has a nice aroma to it. Doesn't it? Sitting back and enjoying a cup of Sharon's coffee, engrossed in a book, I think I found the very definition of bliss. Well, I can see where you're coming from. It never ceases to amaze me how many books there are in here, or even the variety of topics and genres represented. I guess Gwyn has always had a pretty broad range of interests, though, so it makes sense that his library would be as diverse. Indeed, but that only makes it more difficult to read which volume next. Although I must admit, I was a little disappointed to find one particular genre unrepresented in here. Oh, which one? The titillating tales loved by fair ladies across all of Arabonia. The Empire, rather. Stories about the lives and loves of the handsome gentlemen, books that warm the hearts of all who thrill to their prose. Oh, those books. I remember you saying those were pretty popular at St. Astraea too, right? Courageous was lacking in that genre too until Dorothy came and seeded it with some volumes from her own collection. So, does Elise, you know, have any interest in those kinds of books? It's so much more magical to just leave the truth of things to your imagination. We're talking about a realm created by and for pure-hearted maidens after all. It's not a place where gentlemen should tread lightly. Okay, forget I asked then. Fair enough, I'm curious, but not that curious. Yeah, I kind of regret doing this. Try to at least regulate your corrupting influence, though. That'd be great. If that's truly what you wish, I suppose I ought to respect your wishes. But teasing her is more my cherished pastime, so I'd prefer to keep it at that. I wonder if she really realizes her struggles are mainly just for entertainment. Still, teasing or not, glad Elise has at least one close friend she could depend on. Oh, and speaking of entertaining pastimes, I actually learned a delightful little card game called Blade from Sharon yesterday. Yeah, I played Blade before. Kinda sucks, IMO. Perhaps we could play a few rounds together. That sounds fun. I accept your challenge. Words. Please don't actually let me play Blade, because I don't like Blade. We got the cards and began what seemed like it would be a few quick, friendly games of Blade. As they played, things unexpectedly ended up getting fairly heated, with each of them determined to come out on top while holding nothing back. In the end, the time they spent playing together was as enjoyable as the time they spent reading. Reading? Reading's not enjoyable. Although it's probably better than Blade. This really is quite an amusing little game. It's nice that even an experienced player like me doesn't start to at too great a disadvantage. Yeah, the updated version has a lot more strategy to it though. But you know, I have a lot of fond memories of this version of the game. I almost can't help but like it. In fact, Crow's the one who gave me my very first deck of Blade cards. Aw, Crow. Oh, really? It was sad to see if two of you fight each other, especially after all you've been through together. What is it that forced the two of you to fight like this? Well, ultimately, I think it's a battle of wills, and both of us are too stubborn to just give up and walk away. What do you mean? Green told Princess Alva about everything that had happened between him and Crow. As he went on dredging up those memories from what seemed like a lifetime ago, he went through a whole spectrum of emotions. Yet through it all, she had quietly and considerably listened until he finished telling her all that there was to tell. You could think of it as a high-stakes game of Blade. Crow on one side, me on the other. Neither of us are willing to compromise on the things that make us who we are, our beliefs, our past, our friends. And without compromise, all that's left to us is to meet each other head-on and see who comes out on top. I just hope that while we're doing that, we'll discover where life will lead us and what to do with ourselves after this is over. I see. Boys will be boys, I suppose. But hearing you describe it, I almost envy Crow's position. Huh? Why's that? Oh, I just meant Elise would probably think that if she were here right now, envying Crow, I mean. After all, it's almost like fate is pushing you and Crow together. It fills my imagination with thoughts. Just a word to the wise, guys aren't too hot about being paired up with their male friends while they don't lean that way. Well, like it or not, I consider myself someone fully invested in this little battle of wills now. So, I intend to stay with you and see how it all pans out. You're more than welcome to come along for the ride, Your Highness. Wherever it may take us. I really like the rivalry between Crow and Reen. Before it was kind of like, oh yeah, Crow's bad, but ever since like, oh, Crow wants revenge. Like in the first Trails of Cold Steel game, it was like, yeah, Crow killed the Chancellor, everything was all a lie. But now we learn Crow's backstory and we know why he killed the Chancellor and why he was against the Chancellor. And the rivalry with Reen is really, really cool. Really, really nice concept, how they have to settle things in battle. I like that. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Crow in this game. This game is making me care about Crow better, which is nice. Yo, what's up, Machias? Let's hang out, bro. It'll be taking a look. Am I okay? Am I actually okay? I had kind of a rough morning. I'll be taking a look around Rower Institute Technology soon. It's practically the premier technical university in the country, so I think any time I spend there will be to my benefit. I would imagine so. We did go inside during our field study, but that was just for Professor Schmidt's request, so we didn't explore much. Still, it's very you to make a break for the nearest school when we finally get a little time to rest. Well, if there's something I can only see while we're here, why wouldn't I? Maybe you should do the same. No better way to lift your spirits than to get your mind off of what's getting down them. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. Maybe he's right, checking out Institute would probably cheer me up. Yeah, I think you're onto something here. Would it be okay if I tagged along? Of course, I was kind of hoping you would. Shall we? Let's do it. If Machias cares about science... Alright, that was kind of cool. I'm suddenly in. But I was going to say, if Machias cares about this kind of stuff, I suddenly care. Whoa. What was that? Sorry about that, guys. Hey, I recognize you two. You guys came here for a field study one time with your classmates, right? Hit that nail on the head, but... Mind explaining what those two tiny cars are? The remote control cars. You never heard of them? Actually, I think I remember seeing them during our field study too. Oh, did we? I don't remember that. These babies? They're a new kind of toy that we're developing. We're calling them Orbital Remote-Controlled Cars. They're basically little cars that run on orbital power that you could drive around with these radio frequency control devices. With these settling down here in Rower, we're off to test our new and improved ones all around town. That's some impressive technology. We replicated the look of the Rhineford Company's Luke's line of vehicles very well too. Slowing my game a bit. Oh, do you recognize the Machias? With the number of cars on the road of Heimball, you start to recognize different models after a while. So I eventually decided to start doing research into what each one had to offer. The Luke series was one of the ones that I found practically fond of, so its name stuck in my mind. Now there's a man with taste. If you can appreciate the beauty of these little babies, you're gonna go far in life. Actually, you're just the kind of guy who we'd like to give this thing a little test run with. Are you serious? As serious as we've ever been. We want as many people playing with these things as possible, right? Oh, actually, it'd be great if you could grab another friend too. 3 people racing against each other wouldn't be just awesome, but would also provide us with valuable data. Well, in that case, we'd be happy to play with your cars for you. I already know who our third will be, though I'd hardly call him a friend. Oh, is it Jusis? Wait, you're not thinking of... You're probably thinking of Jusis. Oh, how did I ever know? This is awkward. Yep, he was. Of all the things you could summon me out of the blue for, a toy car race? Still, it's not as though I have anything better to do. I accept your challenge. Smile while you still can. I expect you to give this your all too, Reen. Oh, this is just to settle things, huh? Okay, if you insist. Well, now that you have the controls, the course will take you from here, around the front of the RF building, and to the top of the steps over near F. You're gonna have to chase after your cars, though, since the orbital waves have a limited range. Well then, shall we get started? Take your positions. Is this a minigame? Probably not, though. Ready, set, go! The cars left the starting line, the race of the century began. The 3 of them chased furiously after their cars, struggling to adjust to the unfamiliar controls. And as they finally neared the finish line, Jusis and Machias hit their competitive peak, each one desperate to claim victory. Get the hell out of my way! Kneel before me, fool! Guys, calm down a bit, or you're gonna... Oh. What? Impossible! Oh, well, there goes the car. Whose was that? Oh, they both... Oh, Reen won! Both of theirs crashed into walls. We have our winner! In first place, Reen Schwarzer. Seriously? Yeah, isn't that your car? It's red. It was a neck-and-neck race, but once they crashed their cars, Jusis and Machias didn't stand a chance. Looks like you got a bit carried away at the wheel there, fellas. Oh, that was careless of me. This is completely ridiculous. But we got some fantastic data thanks to you 3. We'll have to get this back to the lab and start brainstorming improvements right away. Great work, you guys. Thanks. Oh man, something in my throat. I have to cough. The race complete. Jusis went back to whatever he was doing, and the researchers skipped off gleefully to the institute. Whew, didn't expect that would end up being such a big thing. I'm a little frustrated I didn't manage to come in first, but if the whole thing cheered you up, I'd say it was well worth doing. Thanks, Machias. That means a lot. Hey, no need to make a big deal out of it. On a more pragmatic note, I can't see something like toy cars becoming very successful during wartime. Just another reason for us to fight for peace, I suppose. Yeah, that's a fight I'm sure we'll win. Besides, if these things ever make it to the market, we could have another race. Sounds good to me. Next time, I'm taking Jusis down. What if Jusis takes you down, though, Machias? Not that he will, but, you know. Always consider any possibility. Alright, so we're gonna use 1 bomb point on Gaius. We did Elliot last time, I'm pretty sure. Let's see what Laura's up to. This is my first time seeing Rower. I must admit, I'm very impressed. My expectations were high, given the Rhineford Company's presence here, but I can safely say they've been shattered. I think this single shop alone has more types of orbital goods than the entirety of Legram. I feel kind of like a child in the candy store, to be honest. There's so much I want to look at while I'm here. I could go for some window shopping, yep. Mind if we look around together? Something like shelves full of stuff to take your mind off things. By all means, let's see what this place has to offer. We're staring at a cabinet. So this is an orbital refrigerator. That's a refrigerator? Oh, it does kind of look like a refrigerator. But still. I noticed there was a large one in the Courageous kitchen, but I wasn't entirely sure what it was at the time. Oh, now that you mention it, we do have one aboard, don't we? Being able to just stick food in there and have it stay fresh for days is pretty awesome. It's kind of wild, like, hearing, like, the Cold Steel universe be like, yo, this is something that keeps food, cool, like a refrigerator. Or these are, like, remote control cars. It's kind of wild, like, in the real world and comparing it to this. Like, a lot of stuff being orbital. So it is. I wouldn't mind having one for myself when I want to prepare a boxed lunch. How much does one cost? Maybe I'll consider one when my skill in cooking improves enough to justify the expenditure. Let's go look at something else. Right. She actually seems pretty disappointed she can't get one. I mean, who wouldn't want a fridge? Food is the best. Huh? What's this? The design is rather avant-garde. Says here that it's called an orbital vacuum cleaner. You press the buttons on it, it'll suck up dust and crumbs. Genius! Whoever thought to make a vacuum cleaner? So it's like the orbital version of a broom, I guess. That sounds pretty convenient. I'd like to give it a try. Let's see. Laura carefully pressed the button on the vacuum cleaner. Wild, in case you never heard what a vacuum was. I don't think you're supposed to just turn on appliances in the store like that. Sorry, I guess curiosity just got the better of me. I suppose I should turn it off, then. Is this the button you press to do that? Why is it vibrating even louder and more forcefully? Laura, what have you done? Excuse me, miss. Just kick her out of the store. Well, he certainly seemed none too pleased with us. I'm sorry, Reen. Don't worry about it. It's not often I see you get into trouble like that. I guess technology isn't your forte, huh? Apparently not. I mean, I have an interest in it, but very little experience actually using it. I think I'd be able to use all the appliances here if I had the chance to learn, though. Just like I did with our combat ornaments. By the way, what are these? Probably a washing machine? They're, orbital washing machines by the look of it. You put your clothes in there and it'll wash for you. Lisa had a few in her house from what I remember. If you guys didn't use washing machines, how do you dry your clothes? How do you clean your clothes if they were ever to get dirty? You just, like, wet them and then, like, blow dry them or something? Don't tell me there's an orbital blow dryer as well. Wow, that sure sounds convenient. Fascinating. I wonder how it works. Let me see. Laura, don't! Not again. My apologies. Laura, you should just not touch any technology for as long as you live. So, which of these buttons turns it off? This one? No, maybe this one. Oh, well. There it goes. Laura should be banned for touching technology. Please tell me you haven't done what I think you've done. I'm afraid it appears I've broken it. Excuse me, miss. Fortunately for Laura and Reen, the damage was much less severe than it looked, and they were able to repair the orbital washing machine. Really? Interesting. The employee was understandably furious, but thanks to their connections with Elisa, he was kind enough to overlook what happened. Thanks to Elisa. Thank goodness. Oh, I can't believe I made such a blunder, not just once, but twice. Well, at least they were able to fix it, right? All's well that ends well, I guess. Still, it really does feel like you were, born in the way of a sword. You don't need to make my lack of domestic skills sound like some kind of winning quality. I'm all too aware of the areas where I come up short, and I took up cooking in an effort to become more refined, but I wasn't planning to admit that here. Still, I'm glad I got the chance to see a side of you no one else has really gotten to see. And hey, no one's good at everything. We've all got our weak spots. Well, that's true, but you and I aren't so different in that regard, you know. All of us have roles we're good at fulfilling, and for those we aren't, we need to learn to rely on others. I want you to promise me you won't try to shoulder everything yourself. All of us are here with you to share the burden. Huh? Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Laura. Give me that bomb point. Oh, give me that level up. Alright, well, never take Laura to shop for technology ever again.